Hey guys, what's up? Murphy's Opinions here, and today I'm coming at you with a video that I haven't really done a video in a while, so I thought it was time I needed to do one because, I've been struggling to kind of find time to upload for even my main channel, so you can imagine I'm finding it even harder to get time to fit in content for this channel as well. I know, I've been doing a lot of Beatles stuff, but I just thought, it's just something that I can really talk about quite easily. I don't have to put as much sort of preparation into it. Yeah, sorry if it seems a bit repetitive just doing Beatles stuff. I want to try and change it up a bit. Maybe do Beatles solo stuff, talk about some other bands and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's been hard to try and fit in time to do that. So I just thought I would do an album sort of ranking video on the Beatles' first album, Please Please Me. And before we get into this, I'm gonna do this video a bit differently to sort of how I've done some of my other videos. I'm not really going to include like the songs from this. I'm just going to sort of talk about it, talk about the tracks, sort of give my opinions and sort of a rating out of 10 for each song. So I'm going to go from my least favourite to my favourite. And I do want to stress with this album, I do actually enjoy all these tracks. I think they're all really great songs. And it was really hard to rank this because when doing this, I was like, oh, I think I put this too low. But then when I looked at the other songs, I was like, oh, I guess it kind of has to fit in there. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the ranking of Please Please Me. So, at number 14, so at the bottom, I've gone for Misery. A song that when I first got into the Beatles, I actually did really like this song. However, I think as I've sort of, gotten to, just listening to the Beatles for a lot longer now, I would say Misery, it's one of those tracks where it's just lyrically not that strong in comparison to sort of other songs. It's definitely not a terrible song because I do really like it. I think John Lennon does a good job here with the vocals and that. But again, it's just in the grand scheme of things, in comparison to other Beatles songs, it doesn't hold up. It sounds like I'm criticizing it, but I'm really not. I think what I'm going to do is I'm also going to give songs ratings out of 10. So for Misery, I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Next we have Ask Me Why, another song that it's a song I've always liked. I've never really loved this song whenever it's come on. I do listen to it, and I know it is a song that I'll sing along to and all that. But yeah, it's not all the songs where I'm like, oh, I really love this song. It's just sort of again a song where the lyrics aren't that strong in this song. But a nice little song, I will say. I'll also give that an 8 out of 10. A Taste of Honey. This is a cover by Paul McCartney, and I do really like Paul McCartney's vocals on this. I think he's really good. I think objectively, I'd say Paul is probably the best out of the Beatles in terms of sort of just vocal range in general. So I'll give this also an 8 out of 10. At number 11, we have Baby It's You. And this is an example of one of those songs where I was like, just shocked at how low it was on the list. But then when I looked at the rest of the album, I was like, well, unfortunately, this is just going to sort of be a victim at the bottom of the list, which is a shame because I do really like this song. It's not actually a Beatles song, it's a cover version. And it's a really, really good song. Like, I really enjoy Lennon's vocals. And the harmonies from Paul and George are really good. Just a really sort of nice, calm song. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. And at number 10, we have There's a Place, a song that I think these are getting to the songs where I would say I actually really love these songs now. There's a Place. I always think of this as kind of the prequel to the song In My Life from Rubber Soul, which is an absolute classic song. Because it talks about sort of, there being a place where I can go. And I always think of this as this whatever this place is, it's referenced to later in the song In My Life. But it's just a really awesome sort of song about, reminiscence and that sort of thing. So I'll give it a 10 out of 10. At number 9, we have Chains. The first George Harrison song that appears on the album and the first George Harrison track of 2 on this list. This is a cover version, and I really like this song. I think obviously it wasn't written by the Beatles, but just lyrically it's a really cool song. I think George's vocals just really go with the song, and just I think the opening, which is I think it's a harmonica opening. I could be wrong I often find with these Beatles videos, I always say, oh, it's this instrument, and then I get it wrong, so I apologise if it's not. But yeah, Chains, really awesome song. It gets a 10 out of 10. Next we have P.S. I Love You at number 8. A simple little love song. I think, if you look at it now, it's, in terms of its lyrics, it may not be as strong as, because obviously just music's just evolved, hasn't it? But I can imagine at the time this song was probably, not maybe the word is sort of not groundbreaking, but it's a really nice little song. I believe it was a B-side to one of the singles. I can't remember which one, but I really like this song. A great McCartney vocal performance. It gets a 10 out of 10. At number 7, we have Boys, Ringo's contribution on the album. I think Ringo's vocals on this are really awesome. Definitely one of his best vocal performances on any Beatles track, I would say. I think, the drumming as well that he does, and having to sing at the same time, it's incredible. And I think Ringo did a really good job here. And I think the classic harmonies, the barb shoe arbs. It's such an awesome toe tapping sort of song. So I'll give it a 10 out of 10. At number 6, we have Anna, Go to Him. Great song, one of the most underrated covers by the Beatles, I think. John Lennon, I would say in terms of vocal performances, this is definitely one of the best on the entire album. Only behind one song, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, just the great vocals from John Lennon. And just a great song overall. Again, another cover, but just fantastic. It gets a 10 out of 10. Next we have Please Please Me, the title of the album. Loved by Beatles fans, and I do as well. It's one of those songs where it's just, I think what I just love about it, it's to me, it epitomizes sort of the early Beatles style, with the harmonies and everything. It's just a fantastic song, and Lennon and McCartney's vocals really work well together. And it's a good I assume for a lot of people it's one of the first sort of Beatles songs they heard at the time. It's just a fantastic song, and nothing but love for this song. I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Next we have one of the first Beatles songs I ever remember hearing, Love Me Do. So I think for me, the reason why I have this up so high on the list, purely for nostalgia purposes for me, this is one of the first, as I said, one of the first songs I ever heard. The harmonica on it is awesome. Just again, it was one of their first hits, so I'll give it a 10 out of 10. Number 3, I'd say, is the most underrated track on the entire album. Do You Want to Know a Secret? A Lennon and McCartney song written, sung by George Harrison. It's a fantastic song. I just think George's vocals on this are really, really awesome. A song I believe that was about John Lennon trying to keep his sort of marriage a secret early on, so the Beatles could be sort of, more marketable in that sense. It's just a really awesome song. One of those underrated Beatles songs. A 10 out of 10. Number 2. A classic, the kick-off to the album, I Saw Her Standing There. Another great vocal performance from Paul. This is just a fantastic, classic early 60s song. I really love it. The guitar on it is just awesome as well. It's really rocking, and whenever you listen to this song, well, for me anyway, I'm always sort of like drumming along or tapping along or whatever. It's just one of those songs where you can't help but just sort of, bounce around and move along to the song. Fantastic song, 10 out of 10. And now number 1. I think a lot of you probably could have guessed this. It's a lot of people's favourite. It's a favourite amongst many Beatles fans, and including myself. Definitely one of my favourites. Twist and Shout, the best vocal performance on this album, and one of the best Beatle vocal performances of all time. And a fun fact for those who don't know, John Lennon, when they were recording this album, they saved this track to last so John could just completely go all out on his voice, and he practically killed his voice here for the song, so that's why it's last. They recorded it last, and it's last on the album. Fantastic song here. Guitar's awesome. Everything about it just rocks. A real awesome song. A song that's known by even not really big fans of the Beatles. They all know Twist and Shout. It's a fantastic song. The harmonies as well with the that it's just fantastic. 10 out of 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed that ranking of Beatles tracks on the Please Please Me album. I think the next Beatles album I'll do is I'll do it in chronological order. So the next album will be with the Beatles. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to my main channel if you haven't. Follow me on my new Twitter and my Arse.fm. And once again, thanks for watching, guys.